عليكم ورحمة الله جميعا. And welcome to tonight's talk. Tonight we have a very special topic that we often speak about, which is gratitude. But today we're going to speak about gratitude from a different corner with a different flavor. It's the nonviolent communication. We have two amazing guests with us today that will help us to really understand further and more thorough about gratitude from this lens. What does it mean? How do we communicate it? How do we feel it? Different elements we are going to learn, inshallah, today. Let me start by welcoming you and introducing myself. My name is Reem Al-Jizawi. I'm the founder of CoReach, a coaching firm and a platform, and part of a great team that I work with on a daily basis, the CoReachers. CoReach is simply a place that exists to support both individuals and companies to achieve something that is more in common. How we can bring our wholeness to life and how we bring our wholeness to our workplaces from leadership position or any position that's there. We have a purpose, like everything else in life that needs to have a purpose. We do have a purpose that really drives us and moves us on a daily basis. Our purpose of our existence and why we're here is to prioritize the growth of the human elements within people so that together we build a world that we aspire to reach. We have different tools that helps us to do that. Coaching is a core of them, and other elements and other tools such as consultancy and other talent tools that we use on our journey. Tonight, I'm really grateful that I have a person or my colleague who will be co-facilitating with me, and my colleague is Faris, who will be introducing himself and introducing our speakers very shortly. We also have Farida and Nuran, who will be handling any technical problem, any technical thing that they will be taking care of, and they're the heroes of the tech part. And we have my colleague Yazid, who will be answering any of your inquiries in the chat and also supporting you in anything that you need. If you need if you have any questions, any burning questions, please keep them and please have them and keep them in the Q&A, because we will have a time where we will be coming to it and we're going to answer all of these questions. So without further ado, Faris, the floor is all yours and the mic is with you.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, hello everyone. I'm so happy to have you with us today. And I am Faris. I am working as marketing research in CoReach. And I will be happy to have with us as guests and speakers Mr. Martin Althaus and Mrs. Claudia Althaus for today. As Reem has mentioned, our topic for today will be about gratitude and how to deal with it and receive gratitude in a ways that we highly enjoy those gratitudes, and some other ideas about how to deal with it. So I'll start with introducing our speakers for today. Mrs. Claudia Althaus. She is an accomplished opera singer and a communication trainer, executive coach, and psychotherapist. And she's a certified trainer of the Center of Nonviolent Communication. And also she offers NVS training and practice groups. And also we have with us Mr. Martin Althaus. He's an environmental scientist, now working as a management consultant, helping large corporation and successful adaptation to change in market condition. Uh, he teaches NVS as well to top executive who want to communicate more effectively. So I'm happy to have you with us today, and the space is yours, Mr. And Mrs. Althaus.
Thank you very much. And we are very happy indeed to be here tonight. And let me start by sharing my screen. I'm very happy to have a lot of support there. So whilst when I'm usually doing webinars on my own, there's nobody here to help me. So I'm always a bit sort of with a frenzy that sort of something might not work. But tonight, I think everything will work. And if something does not work, there is plenty of support. So let me share my screen. And you should now see CoReach and us as the two participants, or the two people sort of giving the talk today. And here is the topic again, gratitude. That was what was given to us from CoReach. It's 1 out of 7 key subjects which the Ramadan CSR this year is about, with the general heading of purpose and fulfillment. And we've had very attracted by this topic, both about the purpose and fulfillment, and especially about gratitude. Indeed, we were given a choice. Gratitude is exactly what we picked. That's the subject which we wanted to talk about, because it fits in very well with one of our key topics which we have both in my consultancy and Claudia in her work. It's nonviolent communication. Now, if you haven't heard about nonviolent communication before, don't worry, you will tonight. And it is a communication technique which does not only not use violence, which of course is very clear, but which goes beyond that. It has a lot of ideas about how human beings could interact with each other in a more humane way. And that's what we want to explain to you tonight. And that's where we want to take you on this journey tonight. And so I give over to Claudia. Maybe a few words.
Yes. Yes, I love to share this nonviolent communication with you. And nonviolent communication has a special attitude. The attitude behind NVC, I will use the abbreviate in NVC, nonviolent communication. And the attitude is that we are all coming to the world, that we want to support other people, that we want to be in a good contact and in a warm contact. This is how we come to the earth. And so what we really love to do is to be grateful about what happens to us. So, and I want now to know from you, what were you grateful for during the last few days? So I'm really interested in what were you grateful for the last days. Take something to write down, please, and write down what are you grateful for in these last days. And it didn't have to be something very important or big. Perhaps I tell you my example from today. We have some support in the garden, and the young man ring my door when he was ready with his work and give me a branch of an apple tree. And now the apple tree branch is in my house and it looks beautiful. I was so happy about it. He don't want to throw it away. He said, it's so nice flower, so keep it with you. And so I see the beauty in my kitchen. It's absolutely wonderful. What are you grateful during the last 2 or 3 days? So, and I'm absolutely curious to hear about it. If there are 2 or 3 people who want to share it and who want to talk with us, only to give us this example, what happened in their life that they are grateful for in the last 2 or 3 days. Is there somebody who can talk to us? So I need the support of the others.
Okay.
Is there somebody who
So
talks to
if
us?
somebody would be prepared to share what they are willing, please raise your hand, and then somebody from our support team will open their microphone, and then we can listen to them and talk to them.
And I can read here, I was grateful for a nice walk today and for learning Quran in this Ramadan. Yes, there's one who loved to share what he is grateful for. Other people who want to share, what are they grateful for? You can write it down. It's okay when you write it in the chat.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Anwar. I'm grateful that I'm surviving in these COVID days,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
and I'm healthy, still breathing well without any oxygen support.
Yes. And when you get this support, are you really happy and lucky about it?
Yeah, of course. No, I'm without oxygen support. I mean, I'm healthy, perfect healthy, for which I'm really grateful.
Really grateful for the support. Thanks a lot for this example. Is another one who want to share his gratefulness? Gratitude. It's gratitude. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
First of all, I'm very happy to see you guys. I'm one of the Courage members, but I'm really happy to see you, Mrs. and Mrs. Althaus. I'm grateful for a lot of things in my life, but at this moment, especially last night, I'm grateful for this amazing team I'm working with. It's a bliss to have a place that you can work with and feel it as a home with actually people you can call family. So I'm grateful for that as well.
Yes. Can you give me a picture from this when you can feel it? Is it sometimes when you sit together while talking or eating, or what did you do together? That give me please a picture, an observation. What happens when you are together with these people?
So when we are together, we talk, we laugh, we express, we can be vulnerable, we can speak about our fears, about the support we need. It just feels like you're accepted and everyone is accepted as a human, and we really laugh it off and support each other. And I love it the most when we are physically having lunch together, working together. It's really, really, really fun. It's not just work. It's people coming together to fulfill a purpose. So that's what I'm really grateful for.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Can you tell me what was it the last time if you have lunch together?
Lunch,
Yeah.
that was, I think it was last Friday when we
Last
all
Friday.
we
Yeah.
all got for iftar at Reem's home. It was amazing. It was
How many people are there?
okay, sharing this. We were, of course, after social distancing, we we were around 9 or 10. But
Okay.
distance.
Yeah. And I can hear your joy and you're celebrating this coming together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Is there another person who want to share? A third one? Okay. Maybe not at the time. No problem. We have this wonderful two observations. Yeah.
We actually have also Sarah Nasser. I just saw her hand. Nuran, if you would give her the mic.
Yes, thank you. I'm grateful for me being in a lovely family and getting the emotional support I need for me to follow my dreams, special today after talking to my mom. Yes.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's
Yes.
You read it. You just read it.
Perfect. And that this gives you support to talk to your mother?
Well, in the past, I thought like my parents were kind of, you know how like every parent, they want the best for their child. But today I felt like I could open up to my mom and tell her what my future steps were regarding my future. And I was very surprised that she was very supportive in my next steps in life, which hopefully will go great.
And you feel the closeness together with you.
Yeah. I felt no judgment. I felt so much clarity. I could express. I didn't hold back, and she just understood, and she was very very okay with it. And she was like, "It's okay. It's fine."
Wonderful.
So yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for this. Yes, thank you sharing with us. Wonderful. So, what I really appreciate and love in the nonviolent communication is that it has a clear structure. So we have a few steps we follow when we share nonviolent communication. And I love that you celebrate with us what happened in the last days for you. And now I will show you the structure. You see, the first step is the observation. This is not an easy step, because sometimes I only say, yes, I have a wonderful day. And you listen to my questions. I ask, what did you do? Do you eat with the people? So I try to make a really observation what happened, that I have something like a camera or a video. And I was sitting at the table and talking to the first. And I was... Yeah, so Martin, can you share with us what do the people express?
Yes. So I was taking notes while you were talking, and I heard observations from all three cases. The first gentleman observed that he was still alive, and that we had COVID times. So that's more or less an observation. You can read it in the newspaper. From Kasim, I think we heard very clearly an exact description about the lunch, how many people were there. So that was a very clear observation. And from Sarah, the observation was that she was talking to her mom on the phone today. These were three observations. So you've all done step number 1.
So then the next step in the nonviolent communication is, are the feelings. And so what feelings do you have when you do this, what you did? So Martin, I think you listened to it and can share with us. What were the feelings you heard?
The first gentleman clearly was happy and probably also relieved. I didn't hear the word, but I think there was a strong sense of relief in what he told us. Kasim explained about his happiness and his joy of being part of what he called a family. And with Sarah, she mentioned she was surprised when she was talking to her mom.
So, and then the next step we do in the NVC is the needs. What needs are fulfilled when this happened? Martin, can you share with us what needs are fulfilled when it happens?
The first gentleman clearly was expressing his need to survive and to live and to be healthy and to be in his physical condition to be okay. Kasim said that he was...
You can't see the slide. Okay. I can read, we can't see the slide. You can't see the slide?
Yes, we can see the slide.
Okay.
We're seeing observation, feelings, and needs.
Sorry. Okay, fine. Yeah.
That's what's on the slide. And I'm just like sort of reporting. And Kasim clearly pointed out his need to feel accepted. And that's what he said was fulfilled when he was having lunch at social distance. And Sarah had a lot of needs which sort of came out. There was a need for understanding, the need for support, but also the need for openness and for clarity. So in all the three stories, there were needs clearly expressed.
So, and this is what we really like in the nonviolent communication, this wonderful structure. This supports us in a way to express gratitude in a very, very special way. So we want to introduce Marshall Rosenberg. Oh, yes, and there's step number 4. And the step number 4 is the request. For the day we share today, the request is not in our mind too much because it's needed in other context. In other contexts. Today we share about saying gratitude. We need the first 3 steps. And yes, and so this wonderful structure was given to us from Marshall Rosenberg. And I want to introduce Marshall Rosenberg. He is born in Ohio, and he was grown up in a very violent surrounding. He was a Jew, and he had some really violent surround him. There were people killed, and he knows a lot of fear when he was a young child. And so he's very, he knows what violence is. And then he was ausgebildet.
Trained.
He was trained as a clinical psychologist, and he was a student by Carl Rogers. I don't know whether you know Carl Rogers. He's one who looked very much for the words the therapist and the client speak together. And then he was a little bit, he wanted to find something new, and he worked a lot with non-treatable patients. That is an expression in the psychology. They say we can't help them. And so he wanted to try to talk to these people who are lost in a way. And slowly he developed this nonviolent communication, and we call it a language of life. Yes, and he did it all around the world. So Martin and me, we met him in Switzerland now he's dead, but the last years we met him a few times, and we learned a lot by him and this attitude he shares with us. And I'm absolutely grateful that I found this. So it helps my life in so many, many moments. Yeah. So yes, this is Marshall, and I want to give back to Martin. Martin.
Right. I want to go a little bit deeper into nonviolent communication and explain a few things what it is about these 4 steps. Observation sounds easy, but I want to make you aware what it means. An observation is what a video camera would record, or maybe also what any other recording instrument would record in terms of what you can see, what you can hear. It has all to do with the senses, maybe also what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste. So things which you can sense, they would be observations. And everything that goes on in our head, like judgment, inferring things, making theories, analyses, diagnoses, these are not observations. Feelings. Feelings are something which we all have. Usually we can see feelings or feel them somewhere in our body. Most feelings are connected to a certain part of the body. And so if we say if you're worried about something, we say, oh, it gives me a headache, or a lot of other expressions, probably in most languages, actually connect feelings to parts of the body. However, feelings are completely different from thoughts and interpretations. And that's another important key differentiation. Needs. needs are something very general things. And we're going to introduce you to needs and words which show needs. Marshall Rosenberg actually says there is never a conflict between people on the level of needs. Human beings are easily able to support each other's needs because we all share the same set of needs. However, whenever there is conflict, and of course there is a lot of conflict, it is that humans have different strategies or conflicting strategies. But the needs behind that is something where human beings always can relate and can understand each other. So the differentiation between needs and strategies. And the request, a lot of people confuse requests with demands. And the differentiation there is very easy. A request gives the person you request something of a choice. He can say yes or no. And you find out yourself whether maybe it wasn't a request but a hidden demand when you realize that the person says no and you don't want to accept this. Then you find out yourself, oh, I actually didn't request it of him or her, I actually demanded it, and that shows you the difference. So let's look into gratitude. And let's start with traditional gratitude. And you know, I'm a consultant and I want to share a story with you about where gratitude was a bit tricky. And I think it can happen to everyone. So one day somebody who wanted to express his gratitude told me the following thing. You are a great business consultant. You know exactly what our company needs. This isn't anything to do with me. It's just an example. Whether you're a dentist or a hairdresser or a nurse or a coach, you may hear similar things. And maybe you also have mixed feelings. I mean, it sounds nice and the person appears to be grateful to you. But I always think, who is he to tell me that I'm a great consultant? It reminds me of school, when my teacher told me, you're good or you're not so good. Whatever my teacher told me, whenever he graded me, made it very clear that he was above me and he had the right to judge on me. Sometimes you have a different phenomenon. Somebody would explain to me, oh, you're such a great consultant and we do not know anything and we don't have any leadership training here and we don't know about this and we don't know about that. So he makes himself very, very small. And that's not a good feeling because I want to have him at eye level. I want to talk at the same level. And then the second thing, you know exactly what our company needs. Well, I wonder, I try to do my best, but of course, I sometimes get things wrong. Now, what's going to happen if I get something wrong? What is he going to do with me? Is he no longer thinking that I'm great? Is he no longer talking to me? Is he going to drag me to court maybe? So you see, mixed feelings. And whenever I tell someone, they say, they get shocked and say, well, no, none of that. Please tell me, how could I explain my gratitude in a better way? That is better for you, that is easier for you to listen to. And then I remember nonviolent communication and I help him. And I say, what was your observation? What did you see me do? And then he says, Dr. Althaus, you showed a slide which depicted whatever it did. And I can say, yes, I did. I remember the slide. And then he says, when I saw this slide, I was surprised and thrilled. because suddenly it became clear to me that, and then he explains something which he understood in this moment. Now this is very, very good for me, very easy for me to listen to, because it leaves me alone. He says what happened, that's uncontentious, I remember it. He talks about what it triggered in him, and he's always right on that. Whatever he says here, I do not know, but I'm very helpful that he opens up to me. And then he also says the real point of the gratitude is that he did something. He made a step of understanding. And so he actually realizes he plays a part in whatever is happening there. I'm good at showing slides, and he's good at understanding them and growing himself. So let's have a look. What's the difference between traditional gratitude, which in this case more is like praise? Praise tends to judge people. It starts with "you are." And then it continues possibly in a manipulative way, "because you do." It doesn't say "because you have done," "because you do." That's like "you always do." And it has the implicit notion, almost threat, "and you will continue doing this." And don't dare not to deliver. Praise creates the imbalance. It can be both ways. So somebody sort of can take this judge point of view and make himself look very small at the same time, which is really mind-boggling. And people use praise frequently because they think they owe you something and they want to pay it back. So praising someone actually is directed towards ending a relationship. He thinks he is a debtor, he owes you, you are his creditor, he gives you praise, but then please, it's finished. Then it's settled. Now gratitude goes a different way. It starts by "I saw, I heard, I felt, I smelled, I tasted." So with a sentiment, again, and it takes responsibility. I saw, maybe I got it wrong. I didn't wear my glasses. So if you saw something different, may well be. But I saw, I felt this. And then you start with your feelings. I was happy, sad, disappointed. And you show to the other person that you have feelings. And a lot of people think feelings show weakness, but they do not. You have the guts to show his feelings, to show your feelings, and you show that you do have feelings and you own them. They are yours. You're a rich man or woman because you have feelings. A lot of people pretend they wouldn't. And then you'd continue and say, because I got, so you also admit that you have needs and you were lucky, you got them fulfilled. So expressing gratitude this way keeps the balance between you and the other person, because you own up, you say it was me, it was my feelings, my needs. So there is no manhandling or manipulation of the other side. Whenever I receive somebody's gratitude like this, he doesn't touch me, and that's very important. And gratitude this way expressed, it nourishes relationship. It wants to deepen the relationship rather than to end it. So after having explained all this to this gentleman, I was very pleased with myself. I went back home and there I saw Claudia and I said, "You are such a wonderful wife." Was her reply. And that was exactly the sound which I made half an hour ago with this gentleman when I didn't know whether I liked his way of expressing gratitude. But then I remembered, and I say, remember NVC, what's my observation? And then I said, "Claudia, you read a book about NVC 15 years ago. And half a month later, you asked me to join you for a talk with Mr. Rosenberg, who was in Frankfurt at the time. Yes, she says, that's right. I remember, long time ago, but that's true. And then I would say, today I'm so happy about this and relieved, because it supports my consulting work and adds a humane element I didn't know about. Then Claudia's response was, I'm so glad you got me the long version of your gratitude. So, I think you got the system. Our recommended way of expressing gratitude is starting with an observation. I have just seen that you have done, or whatever you have seen. Then continue with your feelings. I'm so happy, excited, pleased, whatever your feelings are. And then follow up with a need to make your feelings understandable for the other person. Because I like whatever. It gives me whatever needs are fulfilled. So you see, knowing about needs and feelings is a very important thing in this new language. And I must say, to me, it was a very new language. When Claudia asked me, what feelings do you know about? There weren't a lot of words, and I didn't really know about needs either. So let's go a bit deeper into feelings and needs. And that's where Claudia's going to start again.
Yes, I love the long version. Yes. Yes, so how Martin said, we didn't have too much words about needs and feelings. The same was me. And for me, it was really learning a new language. And I want a little bit to introduce you to this language. And in the last years, we found out that the most important words often are the needs words. So I want to share with you needs. Thesaurus of needs. That's a special word. I don't know whether you know it, but Martin, can you please explain thesaurus of words?
I like the word thesaurus. It's actually Greek, but I know it from the English language. You can buy books which are called thesaurus, and they contain words. And thesaurus, I looked it up. The Greek word actually means it's a treasure, and that's what we want to share with you: a treasure of words. And this is a treasure of words to express needs with.
So normally when we have workshops live with people, we make a walk of needs. So the needs are lying on the floor and we walk around and we write down what needs are touching me at this moment special. So this is what we want to do now. We show you these needs and we play a little music, and you have perhaps your pencil and write down for yourself what in this moment is a need that really resonates with me. What is important to me at this special moment? So Martin, can you play the music? And I give you 2 minutes and you please write down your main needs at the moment. What's alive in you now?
Martin, we can't see you, nor your mic is muted. Yes.
Yes?
Mach ruhig beides an.
Beides an.
Ich glaube, sie hat nicht verstanden. Take your time to walk through the needs and write it down, what touches you at the moment. So then I want to invite you to write down in the chat the needs that really are important for you at this moment. What needs are important to you? Yeah. All panelists, that's important that you do it for all the participants, that they can read it. To me, the need of sharing is very much fulfilled when I'm standing here and give this talk. I love to share this. Appreciation, change, identity, efficiency, trust, mindfulness. Oh, humor. I love this need. Yeah. Support, choice, balance, community, connection. Really important need. Openness. Oh, humor again. Yeah, humor is really important to me. Yeah. Identity. Yes. How do you feel when you are connected to these style of words? What happens to you? Is it helpful to express in this way? Only so can you write down, do you use these words often? I'm curious. Are you verbunden mit diesen Wörtern?
Connected.
Are you connected to these words? Yes. Are you connected to these words? Yes, yes. Okay. It feels like feeding my soul. Thank you for this answer. This is what often happens, that these words feed me. Yes, I can't say it better. It's great. It's good, something good nature, maybe. Nourishing, good nourishing with these words. Yes. Thank you. So you know this one word, style of words, and now we go the next step, but in reality it's a step back. So we show again the 4 steps. We start with the needs, because in my experience, the needs are so often so important that I have a few words for needs. So that's the reason why I start with it. But of course, it's very interesting to look to the feelings too. There's a very interesting difference about the feelings and the needs. The needs are words we have normally the whole time, a little bit more of it or not, but we have the whole time, we are connected to needs. Feelings are a little bit special because they often change very fast. So this is normal. Perhaps you are surprised at the next moment, you are, oh, afraid, what happens here? And then you relax. So this is often what happens with the feelings, that they change a lot. But now we want to look to the feelings. How are you likely to feel when your needs are fulfilled? So we show you, so perhaps no, you have a few words for feelings. What feelings do you have when your needs are fulfilled? Can I read a few in the chat? Maybe glad or happy. Yes, happiness, yes. Content, yes. And I love word, oh, satisfied. Yeah, I feel satisfied. Satisfaction. Yes. Perhaps moved, thankful, touched. Perhaps there are a few more words. If not, I show you. Ah, fulfilled. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Charged. What does it mean? Ah, charged. Great. Yes. Wonderful. So we show you the words we have in the in the heart. Martin, there are a few examples of words, and I have in my pocket often a little list of words when I am learning new, and I want to have it in my language, so I have to practice it. So you can see enthusiastic, stimulated, energetic, relieved, optimistic, grateful. All these feelings comes up when our needs are fulfilled or touched in a way. When we learn nonviolent communication, we have two other hearts, two other group of feelings, and we show you only the heart. Today they are not so important because we don't show you the whole thing of an NVC. There is a red heart. This is when our feelings and needs are not met. What words are in this heart? And the black one is a heart where we collect words that seems to be needs, feelings, but they are not. Like the word manipulated, because manipulated says somebody else does something to me, and in the world of NVC, this is not a feeling. I go deeper. When I think somebody manipulates me, I look for the feeling behind. What is the feeling behind my thought that I'm manipulated? Perhaps I'm afraid or I'm angry or something like this. We do this in the other courses, but today we are celebrating gratitude, and so the green heart is the one we need in this evening. Thank you. I invite Martin to tell you something about the fields of gratitude. Martin.
Yes, so now that sort of you know about feelings and needs and the ways to express gratitude, let's look at various areas where you could apply this. And one thing would be, for example, partnership. So I would like to ask you a few needs which partnership usually fulfills you. Claudia and I have been talking about our partnership, so she's been inspiring me. But what needs from the list of needs, or the needs we've been talking about, would you usually find fulfilled in a partnership? And please give us all some ideas in the chat again. Can you put the list again? Okay, let me try to do this. Should be just... There we are. So, which of these needs you would want to see fulfilled in a partnership? Which fits the partnership, sort of the environment or the field of gratitude in a partnership? Love, support, trust, security. I feel all of them, right? Anybody else? Reliability, money, I wonder whether that's on the list. Support, trust and balance. Security, community, support. Confidence. Partnership, they can fulfill your need for confidence, right? So, now that, and there's more reliability, trust, support. And if you wanted to show to your partner, for example, that you say, okay, you fulfill my need of confidence, but before that, what are your feelings? How are you when these needs are met? What does it make with you? What's happening in you? What are your feelings? And Claudia's just whispering from the sideline, show them the feelings list. And I can see on Farah's face that she could read his mind. So what are feelings connected with reliability, security, love, support, trust when you have it fulfilled in your partnership? You're glad. So you can say, you make me glad because you fulfill my need for. You're happy. Yes, I feel loved. Just looking whether that's a feeling actually. I'm grateful. That's clearly sort of something you can tell your partner, I'm so grateful because, and then you follow up with a need that usually sort of touches people in a very nice way. Okay, so we can go through a few other fields, but now my partner, Claudia, is telling me maybe watch the time. And there are more grateful stimulation. And in the interest of time, I'm going to jump a little bit. And I just sort of leave these charts with you. Of course, you could sort of go to another field of gratitude, which is your family. So beyond your partnership, what do you get from, you already heard this, your parents, your children, your brothers, sisters, and so on. And again, you could ask the same sets of questions. But we wanted to show you something more tricky to do with partnership, with family and with children in particular. And let's see whether that works here. The question which I wanted to discuss with you a little bit is, why do we teach children to say thank you? Is it because we think that it's a useful social technique? So that we say, okay, it has helped me to say thank you. So little me, little one, you should learn this from an early age. Or is there something else? And this is the point I'm most looking forward to, because now talking about children, we can use the puppets. I want to quickly introduce the puppets to you. And I'm going to give Claudia one of the puppets too. You've seen that I've been differentiating between traditional way of talking and nonviolent way of talking. And the symbol of traditional way of talking is the wolf. The wolf, there's nothing wrong about talking wolf, talking the traditional way. Most of us have been brought up in this specific way of language, and the wolf is the one that knows what's right and wrong, and he can tell people, you're right, you're wrong, and he also tells himself, oh, I've been wrong again. It's really what you learn at school, the latest, by being marked, by being judged. So, because we all speak wolf, the best thing to do with our wolf is to love the wolf inside, but it's not the only animal.
To translate.
Apart from the wolf, there is the giraffe.
Hi.
And the giraffe is a symbol of the nonviolent communication language. And there are a few impressive things about giraffes. First, they do not have natural enemies. So even a lion would be afraid of a strong giraffe. I was told that a giraffe can smash a lion's head. So they rather stay clear of them. Also, giraffes can eat the leaves from the acacia tree in Africa. And the acacia, the tree, actually has thorns. So the giraffe has a way to nibble out the leaves from in between the thorns. And if they get a thorn, they can swallow it. And their internal system is made to be able to digest thorns amongst the leaves. And that, of course, is a great example or great symbol, because that's what we want to learn in nonviolent communication. If we talk to other people, it's not all leaves. There will be thorns, because not all of them know how to speak in violent themselves. But we have to find ways to digest the thorns to make sure that they do not harm us. And another thing about giraffes, they have the biggest heart of all land animals. So they have to sort of push the blood up in the head, which is high above their heart. So that's probably the physiological reason for it. And that's why we use them. Now, in a lot of families, coming back to the thing, you have the following scenes. Let's say we have a father wolf and a little giraffe, which is a child. And there's somebody, a visitor, let's say an uncle, and he has some chocolate. And he gives the chocolate to the child. And a lot of fathers, Father Wolf, say, "Then what do you say?" "Say thank you." But the giraffe does not always want to comply. Now, Father Wolf gets a problem. If Father Wolf was Father Giraffe, there would be an option which would look as follows. Let me just get the Father Giraffe. Father Giraffe could realize the situation. Okay, the little one has his own mind and it has a mouthful of chocolate. So he helps him. He would say, "Little one, are you pleased? Do you like sweets?" And there is the gratefulness without the giraffe even having to talk. So little giraffe can swallow its chocolate. And Father Giraffe could go on and say, "Do you like it when other people think of you before they come to see us?" And yes, the giraffe would wave its head and say, "Yes, I need to be seen. I want to be remembered and seen." And that's what I like about chocolate. That's the meaning behind it. Now, not everything is as beautiful, as easy as this. Let's take another situation. There is Father Wolf and Uncle Wolf. Uncle Wolf brought the chocolate, gave it to the child, and there is Father Wolf. Uncle Wolf is just sitting there, and Father Wolf is just sitting there. But interestingly enough, I have a little mechanism and we can listen to what Father Wolf thinks. Now listen to this, and it's going to open up a whole family saga to you. Father Wolf thinks to himself, "Oh no, little giraffe ran away with the chocolate and didn't say thank you. I'm sure Uncle Wolf thinks that I'm a failure as a father. Why did little giraffe get me in such a situation? I hate her. Why does Uncle Wolf always bring this dreadful chocolate? Nobody ever liked the chocolate anyway. Why doesn't he realize? So just in the minds, there are no observations here. We can see the origin of generations of hatred, misunderstanding, possible collapse of the family structure because they do not know how to speak giraffe. Now let's assume father knows how to speak giraffe. Of course, mothers can do this equally, but there is Uncle Wolf. And Father Giraffe maybe has been thinking that he would have preferred little giraffe saying thank you or expressing his gratitude. But little giraffes run away. So Father Giraffe is looking after Uncle Wolf. And you could say, start with the observation, Uncle Wolf, there she's gone, our little giraffe. Uncle Wolf says, are you disappointed? Is it always a special thing for you when you come to see us to talk with the children? Do you like the connection? Is it something special to feel connected to the youth? And Uncle Wolf wouldn't even have to say anything about this, but I'm pretty sure that he would felt seen and touched by the empathy given from Father Giraffe. So, that's why I think families are interesting ground to practice. And we could go on to practice further fields of gratitude. Of course, there is a workplace. Some of you have been expressing gratitude about the workplace already, but all these things about giving feedback, you remember, brings you into this judge situation. So when you have somebody working in the company and he wants to have your feedback, you easily get into, you're good at this, you're not so good at that, your sales has been like this, below expectations or above expectations, you're our greatest salesman. NVC actually says that praise, even if it sounds great, is always a difficult thing. But instead, you could show your gratitude. Such and such, I've seen your sales figures of the last months. And in my role as head of sales, I was surprised because you just started here. And I felt relieved because I was getting frustrated about how slow sales were moving in these areas. And now I'm relieved to see that sort of you have been contributing a lot. So rather than judging on this young salesman, you would express your gratitude and you would still make the point, what is it that you like about him? And you could probably even go the other way, but that needs more NVC, that needs the other heart. You could express your sorrow if he wasn't performing the way you wanted him. You wouldn't have to say you're bad, but you could say things like, I've been looking at your sales numbers, sales figures from last quarter, and I am worried because I'm realizing that our most important sales region is trailing back behind what I originally planned. And again, you wouldn't judge the other person, but you would talk about your worries. So that's fields of gratitude, same questions at the workplace. And you could go even further than that into society, same set of questions. We all live in countries, we live in larger communities beyond our families. And sometimes it may be worthwhile to be grateful there. There's a lot of, I feel secure in Germany and I'm pleased to live here. And it fulfills a lot of my needs of security, reliability, health, etc., etc. So that's sort of what you could do there. There's one last thing which I wanted to alert you to. We've been talking about expressing gratitude in occasions when somebody fulfilled our needs and we said, okay, this is a great opportunity, express gratitude to the person who fulfilled our needs, be it partner, family, uncle, child, whatever. There is one person who fulfills many of our individual needs and we still tend to forget this someone. Who do you think could this miraculous someone be? And please give me your guesses, your ideas in the chat. Who's the person which we frequently forget, who fulfills a lot of our needs, and we're not very often grateful to him or her? Ourselves, yes. That's exactly it. And you know that this wasn't rigged. That's true. So one last idea. It's a good practice if you take the effort to be grateful to others, to also be grateful to yourself. And maybe sit down in the evenings and say, okay, what needs did I fulfill to me today? And how did this make me feel like? And that like of thing, this type of thing. So, practicing gratitude in the last minutes now. On individual level, people recommend, for example, gratitude diaries. So give yourself a practice of what I just said, sitting down maybe every evening and write down 3 things you are grateful for to somebody, and you may include yourself as well. In groups, you can actually introduce gratitude rituals, like in a company like your own, like whenever you have a company meetings or one per week, sit together and do something which in nonviolent communication they call celebration of life. So you can sit together and just sort of share your gratitude. Somebody can start, I observed this made me feel like that because it fulfilled my need of that and that. And if you do that in a circle, you inspire all the others by your gratitude. A lot of people usually are triggered and say, yes, oh, say, I've got something as well, which sort of starts a positive spiral. And sometimes also you may think about somebody that you say, oh, there is this, don't know, old teacher of mine or parent or brother, and really I enjoy so much what they've done to me, and I'm not sure whether I've ever expressed that. And you may decide that in these situations, you may write a letter to them and express your gratitude by writing down the observations, how it made you feel, and what needs it fulfilled. And this type of letter or email or whatever tool you want to use usually touches people and strengthens relationships. So, thank you. And
we come to the end of our talk. And wonderful talk. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such a wonderful, joyful, great talk. And we really enjoyed, personally, I have enjoyed each and every part of it. It was, and you have shukran there.
Do you want to hear the long version, or are you happy just with us saying thank you? Would you like to hear our long version?
Yes.
Is it German?
No, we'll try it in English. Observation. Reem, you invited us. You explained to me a few weeks ago about your CSR events, and you invited me to do a talk.
And Martin asked me to join him.
This was a big surprise to me, and it made me very excited and curious.
And I was overwhelmed and, yes, curious, very, very curious.
Because it nourished our need of growth, of knowledge about other countries, our need to connect across cultural borders, religious borders. It nourished our need to connect to religious people and the way how they practice their religion, and to participate and to be part of the world and to feel connected.
And I love to learn. Learning is one of my needs when I come to you.
This is the long version.
I must say, I so much prefer the longer version than the thank you version. Beautifully said. Oh, super grateful. We have actually multiple questions, and because of time, I want us to have enough time for the people to hear the answers for these questions. So if we may go to the Q&A now.
Please.
Thank you. Faris, go ahead.
Yes, I'll go with it. But first, I'll have to thank you for this great talk. And it's actually remind us to keep always being grateful for what we have and how we express gratitude and how we make difference between it and praise. And I really enjoyed it actually. So I'll go with the questions. First question. It says, can you give more examples that differentiate between requests and demands? I think this is in the steps, four-step approach.
When I give one example by a mother who said all the time to their children, please clean the dishwasher. And they never did it. This is a short version. And then she get very angry and she said, nobody helps me. Never, ever somebody supports me. Nothing happens. And this is because it's the short version. If she took the long version, she would say, oh, family, when I come home after my work, 8 hours observation, I feel so tired and I need really support, feeling and need. It's possible that you support me and help in the kitchen. And this is so absolutely different to clean the dishwasher. I express my feelings and needs and do a request. So that might be an answer for this. Okay. Yeah, and another question?
The other question, it says, if we have a grateful, if I was grateful to someone but expressed my worries to them regarding a mistake and they keep doing the same mistake again, what other way can I direct this person to stop mistake from happening?
Yes, hier genau. what
It's a bit a long question.
is somebody, if I was great to someone, to express my worries to them regarding a mistake, and they kept do. So it's not about being grateful, but it's about connecting to the other person about something which you think is a mistake and they're doing it wrong. So I would differentiate those two, the gratitude and sort of the mistake. And you want to direct this person from doing whatever they do again. That's, I think, what I understood. And Claudia's got something, a solution?
First thing what I want to say is there are no mistakes in NVC. Somebody does something you don't like, perhaps, and you judge it as a mistake. This is, sorry, but this is the first answer. And then if you want to show this, what does this, what you tell, what you what you call mistake, if you want to show it really up, then you try to say what is the observation behind this mistake, what is the observation, then you tell your feelings. I really get angry, and you don't have to be kind in NVC. You can show your anger, of course, and then you go to you need, and I need really clearness or support or whatever the need is. And then you can ask, how do you feel when you hear this? So you can express your pain after this, what you judge as a mistake, but of course it does something to you, and then you have the better chance that the other person can listen. Yeah, it's one part of the answer. Yeah.
That's very interesting that you're mentioning the part about kindness, and you can express fully and be fully in that feeling, whatever that feeling you have. That's really interesting part in an NVC. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, this is because we have the evening of gratitude. We don't mention it too big in this evening, but of course you can say your pain too. Yeah.
We would love to have more evenings then. I think that's the potential to have more evenings.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Another question?
Okay, we'll go with the next question. It says, I practice gratitude on a daily basis through journaling, but I often get stuck and stop finding things to be grateful for. What should I do when I get stuck?
Be kind to yourself. And don't überfordern. Don't do it to be too challenged. Don't to be hard on yourself. What we do when we make this gratitude, we say 3 in a day and not more. You don't have to do more than 3 in a day. Then you practice it. But if you can't find small things, sometimes it's only about the weather. Don't go too deep. Don't think it has to be big things you have to be thankful for. It can be small things. Go easy with it. When you practice, go easy. This is my offer. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with the next question. It says, sometimes I face difficulties expressing my needs in a relationship. What ways would you recommend for me to use to be more expressive?
In a relationship. Let me just try to find the question. I was listening. How to express your needs in a relationship. Is that the question?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Das habe ich natürlich auch antworten.
Yes, go on, you, Claudia, mach doch.
This is the hard point. It's a hard question, because when we start to learn NVC, then we learn first that we express our feelings and needs. And I often, when I have the practice groups, all the people come in. I say my feelings and needs to my husband, but he don't listen. Maybe because he wants to express his feelings and needs too, and we have to balance it. If we only share our feelings and needs and never listen to the feelings and needs of the other person, then we don't get this balance. But it's a normal thing after the first contact with NVC that all the people we show our feelings and needs, and they don't respond in the way we want that they respond. So be aware that there's another trick in the NVC too. If you have something, you don't have to clarify it with your partner directly. You can do it with a well-trained NVC friend and go through the steps, and perhaps something will change, and it's not too important to do it with the person, with your partner. This is a few of the answers. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rian. We'll get back to the same question. It says, as a father speaking with my kids, with needs that I really need at the moment can take time, effort, and eventually they don't get done. I tend to force them, and what else would you recommend me?
Oh, I remember a situation. Wow. I want to share a situation with you. I was we have this shops where we can paint pottery for ourselves. You know this? And there was a woman with her enkel,
Grandchild?
with a grandchild, and she wants to go home to the mother. And the grandchild was absolutely, no, I don't want to dress myself, I want to stay here. And the children get louder and louder. And the grandmother really do it really good to express her needs. She said, your mother is waiting, I want to be reliable, that I bring you back to your mom. And the little children didn't hear this. She was absolutely upset. And sometimes I'm really mutig. Courageous, and I go to the mom and say, to the grandmom, and say, can I talk to your child? And what I do then is, I know the child is can't listen to the feelings and needs of the grandma, because their own feelings and needs are so big to stay in this wonderful place and to make this creative work. So I go to the child and I ask her, did you really like to be here? Yes! Do you want to show me what you paint? And she took me and ran with me to the pottery she painted, and look here, this I do. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. Perhaps you want to tell your mommy about it? Yes! And she ran back, jump in her stuff, and they go out. So this is my recommendation. Sometimes it's much more faster if you give a look to the feelings and needs of the child. Of course, I trained it a few years before I'm mutig to have this courage to go to the child and give empathy. But this is what I do. I give empathy. What is alive in you? What feelings and needs are alive in you? We celebrate the work, and then it's easy that she go home. And now, years later, I often have situations like this, and this is my answer to a few questions. You can express your feelings and needs, but the other side, to see the feelings and needs from the other side, is the same important as your feelings and needs. I'm sorry. It is like this. Okay.
Beautifully said. Thank you. Okay, so we have the next question, Faris.
Yes, for the next questions, it says, how do you continue being grateful and appreciate in the best way, even when sometimes you are in a hurry or overwhelmed at the moment?
When you're in a hurry.
Yeah. Thank you.
Grateful in a hurry.
Yeah.
That's why hurry sometimes can be so difficult. They get you into trouble. You want to be grateful, but you don't find the words. You can say thank you if you're really in a hurry, or you can add like sort of little things. I'm so relieved, thank you. Or sort of just one word of your feelings and then add it with the word thank you. That usually helps sort of, and if you do it with the intention of sort of not judging the other person, but sort of saying, this was really lovely for me, thank you. And then you shoot off to whatever.
All right.
Yeah, and be generous with yourself in situations where this just isn't possible.
Thank you. I need to do the short version of the gratitude for now, because we're done with the time. However, the talk and tonight have made me feel truly joyful, and it have answered my curiosity and and it gave me clarity in multiple elements that wasn't that I didn't know before, and that's really important to me personally. Thank you so much for your authenticity, how the preparation that has been invested in this presentation. Thank you so much. We have enjoyed every bit of it, and we really look forward for other continuous nights that we will be talking more about NVC.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And thank you everyone for attending today. Truly grateful for being here and joining us with this really important topic. And we look forward to see you, inshallah, on other nights with more talks coming up. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.